Coach Tiki and Tierney, congrats. How are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic.
Good. How excited are you to head out to San Diego?
Better than Buffalo.
Oh, I tell you what, after seeing snow for the last 3 days around here, I can't wait to see the sunny weather of San Diego.
But that's a challenge. 9:57 tip. So, listen, you're thrilled to be there. You certainly earned it again. About 12th year at Seton Hall. My goodness, time is flying. But as a coach, how do you guard against just kind of laying around doing nothing all day? That's a late start, man.
It is, but luckily we kind of got stuck with the 9:30 games in the Big East tournament the last couple of years. So we've had some experience dealing with the late games, and the good thing about coaching college kids is that they usually don't go to bed till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So playing at 9:57 is like right in their wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Kevin?
That's
I was going through the channels yesterday at some point. I don't even know why. And I stumbled upon The White Shadow. You know the TV show The White Shadow, right?
I do.
Okay. Haven't seen it in years, and I threw it on, and they made a trip out to Las Vegas for a tournament. And all the kids snuck out, and they lost all their money, like the $20 of the 70s, I guess. The $20 in meal money. So you say the kids go to sleep at 3, you're not wrong. Just make sure there's no casino action, Kev,
No casino action. Maybe just the San Diego Zoo, maybe a little beach, something nice and simple.
Yeah,
that's right.
The beach, you get lost on. You get stuck out there all day. But what is your message to the guys? I mean, it's obviously a cross-country trip. It'll be beautiful, obviously, out in San Diego. We know that. But the focus has to be on basketball. How do you manage that?
What's great about this group, and we've been to the NCAA tournament 6 out of the last 7 years technically, and as you keep getting into the tournament, your focus it's easier to get the guys to focus on the game instead of the experience. You want them to have a great experience. You want them to enjoy. Making the NCAA tournament it's a reward for all your hard work from the summer all the way to the end of the season. So you want them to enjoy that, but at the same time, the more you're in it, the more it's easier to get them to really focus on. All right, we're playing against a really good TCU team. Let's get out there and let's get focused.
Yep, that's Jamie Dixon's team, who was longtime Big East fans will know he did a great job over at Pitt. So you obviously know him well, and it's going to be a really good matchup. We'll talk to Kevin Willard. He's the coach at Seton Hall. And, Coach, I said before, 12 years. I remember your first couple of years at Iona, a Pitino protege, really highly thought of. But for somebody who's been at a big job, at a big conference for well over a decade, you're still only in your mid-40s. I don't know if people quite realize the legacy that you've carved out at Seton Hall. Devout fans do. But has it been harder than it looks because there's no football budget? They've had a lot of pockets of success with, of course, the Final Four appearance back in the day, and Andrew Gay's in that team, and DeHare and some really good players. Louis Orr had a couple of good teams. I get it, but it's not. I won't say it's a hard job, but it's not an easy job. What are you doing at Seton Hall that's allowed you guys to win basically every year?
Well, let me first say, when you're bald, everyone thinks you're a lot older than you really are.
Oh, I know.
Hey, you're not old, because if you're old, then I'm old. Your birthday's a day before mine.
I know how you guys look.
Three baldies, Kev.
Three baldies.
I know. That's why I fit in so good with you guys. No, I've been blessed, guys. Seton Hall is a very special place. I've had great support. I had an athletic director, Pat Lyons, who through my first couple of years where we kind of struggled, getting going, who really stood by me. And it's just one of these places that, although we don't have the football budget and we don't have an on-campus arena, there's some things that really, really make this job hard. The family atmosphere, the people around Seton Hall, our alumni, make this job very special. So it's, although it has its challenges, it's been a blessing to be here for 12 years.
Yeah, no, and obviously you've had a lot of success, and but it has been a while since Seton Hall's been in the Sweet 16. I think it's 21 years at this point. If you had to just say, and you were stating this to your friends, us, and then you're going to say, we need X to get to the Sweet 16 and to get farther, what is that, Coach?
Yeah, you know what? We've kind of, my 2016 team with Isaiah Whitehead and Kadeem Carrington, those guys were sophomores. We won the Big East Tournament championship over Nova, who won the national championship that year. I thought that was one of our teams that really could have made a run, and we just got a bad seed out in Denver. We got a 6 seed when everyone was projecting us to be a 3 or 4 seed. And then, obviously the year that the tournament got canceled, we probably would have been a 2 seed in the East, where I thought that team actually had a chance to win a national championship. I thought we had size, we had great players. We've been stuck in the 8-9 seed, and we've been kind of stuck away from the East, which is sometimes tough to get on a run. So I think the biggest thing for us this year is, if we can shoot, when we shoot the basketball consistently, we're a really good basketball team. We have some really great wins this year. COVID really hurt us, and we had a couple of tough injuries throughout the year. But this team is tough, and when we shoot the basketball, we can beat anybody.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I remember what you said after the game, all right? And I'm going back to the game with St. John's over at Walsh Gym. I was there for that, and I hadn't been in Walsh in 20 years, and it was by chance when I was there. I was actually doing something with baseball back in the day. I love it, and I know that that's not something you want to do too often. I know you didn't like the result that night, obviously, but I thought that was a great atmosphere. The kids were revved up. I pulled in 2 hours before the game. There's a line around the corner. I thought Walsh Gym looked pretty good, Kevin. I really did.
You know what? I actually loved it too. I really did. I thought the atmosphere was cool. It was, we got, someone asked me, how was the experience, and we just got beat by 20. I said, I never want to play in this gym again.
Yeah.
That was kind of the reaction of, well, I just got beat by 20. How do you think I enjoyed the experience? But looking back at it, having only the students here was so cool. And again, that's kind of what makes Seton Hall kind of special is we don't have 30,000 students on campus, but we have one of the best student crowds of anyone in the Big East. So it's one of those things that it's a special place, and it's the people that really make Seton Hall.
I thought they pumped some money into Walsh, and it almost felt a little bit like not to overstate it, but like a little bit like a Cameron Indoor Light. I thought not to be repetitive, but the lighting, just the paint, just to feel the ambiance. I don't know, I felt a little bit like what they have at Duke on campus. Maybe because I had a chance to call one of the best wins of the year for a disappointing year for St. John's. Maybe that's why I liked it so much. But I don't know. I thought Walsh was cool. And let me ask you this, Kevin. So I don't even know how you can answer this, but hopefully you give us as honest an answer as you can. The word is that, all right, and I know you're his protege, that Rick is really committed to finishing up at Iona. Do you really believe that?
So, I went and saw what they redid their offices, they redid their gym, and I went and watched him practice this summer before he left to take his team on a European trip. And, Coach Pitino is one of those coaches that is he has more enthusiasm for the game now than I think he did when he was at Louisville, which is hard to say. I think he's thoroughly enjoying not only the players he has at Iona, but I think he loves the culture and the alumni that Iona has. It's again, I've been lucky. I started there. I coached there. They have a phenomenal alumni base, and I think he's enjoying coaching those kids and coaching there. And I could see him being there for the next 5 to 6 years.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. We talked to him when he first got the job, and he said, look, this is my last job.
Yeah, we didn't believe him right away, but he's still there. So why would you believe him? It's Rick Pitino.
It's Rick Pitino.
It's Iona. Iona's got a great history, but I don't know. Maybe this is the final stop. We'll see.
We'll see. TCU, you talked about them. You guys are heading out west probably, tomorrow? Yeah, I think you said tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll leave tomorrow.
How are you guys preparing for them? It's different. It's a Big 10, Big 12, I should say. So it's a different conference, a different style of play. What can we expect from you guys against TCU?
Yeah, they remind me a lot of UConn this year. They're physical. They have very good guard play. Jamie's teams do two things really well every year. They rebound the basketball as good as anybody in the country, and they defend as good as anybody in the country. And so I think what you're going to see two teams really battling out. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because both teams are really, really good defensively. And I think it's something that, we're going to have to really do better than we've done in the last 2 weeks on the glass.
Yeah.
If we don't take care of the glass, we're going to have a hard time winning.
All right, Coach. I need you to be real with me because you look at the divisions, the regions when they come out, and I know this happened to you yesterday. The first thing you do is do what? You're looking at who's the one, who's the two, who are the strengths in our region. Do you do that? Because that's what I do as a fan. For my team's not in it. Obviously, Virginia had a bad year this year, but you know what I mean. You think about who do we got to go through? Do you do that as a coach?
A little bit, but I think it's, when you lose and it's over, your main focus becomes on who you're playing right now.
Yeah.
To kind of look down and say, hey, if we get past this guy, we can get them. You lose focus, and your team will notice that you're losing focus. So we kind of stay really, really present. Not looking in the future or not looking at what's going on, because if you lose, you're done. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So when it's lose and go home, you really just stay focused on who you have and what you got in front of you.
So that's Kevin Willard, who's over at Seton Hall, obviously getting ready for the matchup, the NCAA 8-9 matchup with Jamie Dixon's TCU squad out in San Diego on Friday. The Big East, Kevin, it's I know that we know that it's still really strong. Villanova's got multiple championships. UConn is back, and we just had Danny on the show before. You guys have made, 5 of 6 NCAA appearances. Creighton has a great facility, a big-time program. There's components. The Big East is legit. Do you feel that the Big East gets the respect nationally? I don't mean the old Big East. I mean right now, this iteration, that it deserves. Do you feel that it does?
I do. I do because of, we're able to recruit nationally. I think that's, I have 2 kids from Texas, Georgia, and when I go recruit and we go out nationally, everybody knows about the Big East and how we play. We recruit guys that play, our style, who are tough, hard-nosed. And when you start talking about them and you start talking to them about, this is what it's like when you play Villanova, when you play UConn, when you play a Providence with Ed Cooley.
Yep.
Your style fits this, and they know the league. They know they can play in it. And the thing that's great about the Big East is it's all major cities, which kids really love. When you go play DePaul, you're in Chicago, Milwaukee for Marquette. So even though we have some teams out west, you're going to some really good cities. You're staying in nice hotels, eating at good restaurants. So kids, it does travel because we play in major cities.
That's true. I lied. I said I'd one. I got one more for you because I threw this by Hurley as well. So the all-time Big East starting 5 for me. I'm gonna give it to you. Tell me if I'm missing anything. You ready, Coach?
I'm ready.
All right. Couple of no-brainers. Ewing's obviously the center. I've got Derek Coleman at the 4. I've got Mully. To me, that's an absolute no-brainer at the 3. I'm going Ray Allen at the 2. I'm going AI at the point, and I'm going to give you Pearl, Kemba, and Walter Berry off the bench. Who am I missing?
Yeah, I don't think you're missing anybody.
That's it.
Hey, give me 3 of those guys.
I hear you. I hear you.
You're joking. Coach, you ever feel like, these number 1 overalls, these number 2 overalls, are they coming to Seton Hall? You ever going to get one of those kids? And how do you if you are?
If they grow up in the state or if they're in New York City, I think we have a chance. We've had a couple chances. Lost a couple guys, one to UCLA. The difference now, and this is, fans hate this, and it's not an excuse, but the AAU scene has exploded and is a national scene now. Back when I played in high school, you might have went to one tournament, and so kids weren't, they didn't get to see the country the way city kids or a Jersey kid gets to see them today. Now, by the time they're a sophomore in high school, they've played in Vegas, California, Orlando, Texas,
South
Georgia,
Carolina,
and South Carolina. So their eyes are opened up at a much younger level. So I think we've had good opportunities. I think St. John's has had good opportunities. I think it's going to happen. It's just it's. I always say if you look at where the top 10 players are going every year, there's only 3 schools they're going to.
Yeah, and they all talk to each other. It's always like, hey, I'm going here. I'm going here. Hey, let's go together type of thing, right?
And I love the guys we get, though. I've been lucky to have some really, really good players here. I've had a lot of New York City kids who I love. They have my attitude, my mentality of how we play. So, although we're not getting those guys, we're getting some pretty good guys that are putting a great product on the court.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah, it makes you be at the top of your game, right? Because it's not, hey, we got a lottery pick coming in this year. It makes you, as a coach, have to really get the best out of everybody.
Absolutely.
Kevin, another really, really good year. Hopefully you guys aren't finished. Represent the conference, the area. Good luck in the 8-9 matchup, and keep it moving, Coach. Thanks, bud.
No, I appreciate you for having me, guys. I love you guys, man.
You got it. Back to you.